No, don't worry, it's not Vlogmas. It is Friday, the 14th of February. It's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's, everybody. I thought it would be fun to do another sewing weekender with me. And this weekend, Martin is working. So he works 1 and 2. So I've got the weekend to myself, which is just incredible. As much as I love him, it's really nice to have some time to yourself sometimes, isn't it? So I've got the weekend to myself this weekend with no plans to do anything apart from, you know, tidying up at home, the usual boring stuff that you have to do, a bit of housework, a bit of ironing and cleaning, etc. And then the rest of the time is for me. So I am planning to get some exercise, get out running, because I've not done that for a couple of weeks. But also I'm going to be sewing, and I've actually been sewing a fair bit this week already. Usually on an evening, I don't feel like it when I've been at work all day, and especially over winter when it's really dark and I just want to get cozy in front of the fire and relax and chill. I don't have much motivation to go into the sewing room, but I have this week. So I've done a fair bit of sewing already, which is exciting because I have 2-3 things made in a week in evenings, which is great. I'll show you those later. But I'm going to sew some more because I've enjoyed it so much and really pleased with the things that I have made. I am going to crack on this weekend and do some more sewing. I've got my coffee. I'm going to head off to work shortly, but do you want to see the card Martin got me for Valentine's? So you know that I have this sort of goth alter ego. Well, lots of you will. If you've not met me before, my name's Rachel and I sew and do lots of other crafty things. But yes, I used to be goth and I still love the goth music scene, the goth aesthetic, etc. It's a really big part of my life. But obviously you have to tone it down for work. That's the thing. And as we age, you know, some of those styles don't always look the best, shall we say, on us. But I do occasionally really lean into it. And yeah, my heart is still black. Anyway, enough of that. Martin's bought me a gorgeous Valentine card. Look at that. How beautiful is that? It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know where he's got it from, but it's so nice that I am going to frame that, I think, when I stop displaying it for Valentine's Day. So generally, we don't really do much for Valentine's Day. I mean, we've been married 30 years, almost. A couple of years we'll have been married 30 years. So it's, you know, it's sort of just not a thing. But I haven't got him a card and I feel really bad. But we're having a nice meal tonight. We're having a meal in. We're not going out because it's Valentine's Day and they always put the prices up, don't they? So we won't be doing that. But yeah, we're going to have a meal in tonight. And then I've got the weekend to myself, which is lovely. So I'm heading off to work soon, hence the uniform and nothing me made. If you've been watching me over the last couple of vlogs, I talked a little bit about knitting. So I think I showed that I was knitting a vest by Petite Knit, which is the novice slip over. And I'm really getting on with it now. So here it is. It's come up so nice. So I've got the vest actually done and I am literally doing the ribbing at the bottom. Now the only thing is, I should have gone down a needle size to do this ribbing and I haven't done. And I'm a little bit not keen on how it's coming out because it's a bit big. And I think I really should have gone down a needle size. But I know I could unpick all this, but I knit the English way and not the continental way. And the continental way I think is really quick because you hold your working yarn in your left hand while you're knitting, whereas the English way you hold it in your right hand. So you're like back and forward. So it takes ages to do ribbing. And yeah, I don't fancy undoing all that, to be honest, and redoing it. So I'm just going to go with it. But I think when I have finished the ribbing, because I'm going to do quite a deep-ish ribbed hem, then I have to obviously do the neckband and the armholes as well in ribbing. I think I'm definitely going to go down a size for those because, yeah, it should be, it just looks a bit clunky, I think. And I just got carried away. What can I say? So anyway, I'm really happy with how that's coming out. I haven't done any more on the pink one, which you can see is back there. That's the diamond in the rough sweater. I have got one sleeve done to the ribbing, and again I need to go down and size to do that, which means I have to go and get my needle out, and that's why I've not done that. So yeah, but anyway, I have been knitting in front of the fire, which has been nice. But yes, I've not really done much on that this week because I've just done a couple of rounds of the ribbing because I've been sewing and I've really enjoyed it. It's been really nice. So yeah, I am going to have my coffee now. I'm going to watch a couple of vlogs while I have this, and then I'll be heading off to work, back later, and I'll see you then. I'm home from work. Boy, what a day. It's just been one of those days, one of those Freaky Fridays, but yeah, it's really been tough today, really been tough. Anyway, I'm home and I am looking forward to a weekend of relaxation. So I have put on my latest make, which was one of my plans for February. So let me stand up and show you. So there we go. Now, you're probably thinking it's a flare. It's not a flare. So if you haven't watched my February plans vlog, basically this is a hack of the Allen Anthia blouse. So I originally hacked it before the flare came out, beginning of last year maybe, something like that, and I made it in a cotton poplin, and I haven't really worn it. And the reason for that is because the Allen Anthia actually flares out from the underarm, so it's sort of A-line shape. And I hadn't accounted for that when I decided that I wanted to make a Danny-inspired blouse of that pattern. So I made it in a cotton poplin, and because these sleeves are really billowy and lots of gathers in them, because the gathers come almost to the underarm. There's literally about a couple of centimetres from the underarm on the front and back where there's a little notch, and then you gather the rest of it. So you've got lots of poofiness. And as I say, I made it in a cotton poplin, and I just felt like it was a bit too costumey, so I ended up never wearing it. Plus, with there being a gap because you've got the ties, I didn't put like a little modesty panel in, and I just didn't wear it. So anyway, but the main reason was it was just too wide because of the shape of it. So what I did this time was I straightened off the side seams so it doesn't flare out anymore, and I have added the modesty panel, which is a pattern piece from the Rosamond blouse by Madswick Studio, but it's easy enough to do. It's literally just a rectangle of fabric, created facings, because obviously the Anna Allen has a button band at the front, and I just created facings for the front, added ties in 3 places. So there is one here, and I created a peplum and put the same sleeves on, and I am really happy with it. I like it. I think it's really nice, and the plan is to wear it with jeans as I am wearing it just now. Oh, I've got bias binding round the neckline as well. So yeah, I'm just going to wear it with jeans. This fabric is a cotton lawn in my stash that I made Layla's Christmas dress from, and I had loads of it left over, and I think I've still got about a metre of it left over as well. So gosh, I'm looking really tired tonight, guys. So I made this last night. I'd cut it out beginning of the week or last weekend, I think, and yeah, I sewed it up last night, and it was quite time consuming because you've got 6 rouleau loops to make for the ties, and then obviously all the gathering as well, which is mind numbing, isn't it? Let's face it, unless anybody out there is screaming at me. I love gathering. I don't, but I do like gathered things. But yeah, I like the result of this because with it being a cotton lawn, it's not as poofy, and I think in a viscose you'd lose the drama of it, so it does need to be in a cotton lawn, I think. So yeah, anyway, I'm really happy with it. So this is the first time I've tried it on, and yeah, I think it looks nice. It's going to be nice with shorts, etc. So you probably are going to want to see the jumpsuit because that was on my plans for February as well, and I have got the jumpsuit done, which is the McCall's M7908, is it? M7908, this one. So I made this jumpsuit. I cut that out beginning of the week, and I ended up cutting out the pattern in calico so that I could make a toile. And I've got the pattern range size 6 to 14 because that's what I normally fall into with McCalls. And this pattern is actually really fitted. There is very little ease in it. So when you look on the pattern itself, it gives you the body measurements. It's not accurate. I mean, this is the thing with the Big Four. I'm sure lots of you that have sewn the Big Four know this. You can't go by the body measurements on the envelope, because I think what the mistake that a lot of people in the UK make is they think this 6 to 14 is UK sizes. It's not, it's US sizes. That's the first thing. So the body measurements that you look at that correlate to those sizes are based on US measurements, not UK. So that's the first thing. But also the ease that's in the pattern, so the finished measurements are on the pattern pieces of these patterns. So you know, it's difficult because it means you have to buy the pattern in whatever size range before you can determine what the finished measurements are and look at which size you're going to fall into or what sizes you need to blend between. And yeah, because of just experience, because I've made a lot of McCall's patterns in the past, I haven't done much actually in Big Four for the last 2 or 3 years. I know that I generally fall into that size range and that fits me fine. So it's, I mean, the thing with these patterns are they are incredibly well drafted. The instructions are not always fantastic. They're great if you're experienced, but if you're not, then some things can sometimes just flummox you a little bit. But yeah, I made a couple of toiles. Well, I made the first toile. I just cut a straight size 14 and I lengthened the bodice part by 1 inch to start with, and made up the straight size 14 otherwise. And I was a little bit worried because the finished measurements of the 14, when I looked on the pattern pieces, I think the bust was 39, the waist was 30, and the hips was 41. Now my body measurements are 37, 28, 41 and a half. So I knew straight away that that hip wasn't going to fit me. And that sort of gives you an idea of just how fitted this jumpsuit is supposed to be. So I don't want to go into a lot of detail now because I'm going to do a separate review of this pattern because there's a lot to talk about with this pattern, shall I just say that. But I ended up making 2 toiles. I didn't need to change the top at all. One thing I will say is it does come in different bust sizes, so there's, it's with it being princess seamed, they've got different front bodice pieces for your cup size. So I did the AB cup size and that worked out perfect, bust and waist, but the hips was a completely different kettle of fish, shall we say, which that's what it is with me because I'm pear-shaped and have chunky thighs. So that took a bit of work. And yeah, I ended up making 2 toiles, and then I was at the point where I knew I could cut into my gorgeous cow print. So I will get it and bring it to show you. But as I say, I'm not going to go into loads of detail because I am going to do a separate review of this because I had to make lots of alterations to this pattern to get it to fit me. And I don't normally have to do that with McCalls, but I think what you need to bear in mind is that the fabric that I was using was non-stretch denim, and with this being fairly fitted, that means you have to be super accurate with all your measurements and all your adjustments, etc., because there's no allowance for making any errors. That's the thing to get this to fit. So let me just go grab it and I will show you. Right, I'm not trying it on because, as I say, I'm going to do a separate vlog, but here is my finished cow print jumpsuit and I am absolutely over the moon with this. Now, I ended up doing the 2 toiles and making this all in one evening. Yes, I know, you're probably thinking, what? But I finished work about 3 o'clock, so I was home about 3:30, and had plenty of time to just get it done. So the thing is, when you're doing a toile, and I did the toile out of non-stretch calico, I was obviously not going to put on the collar, I wasn't putting the pockets on, and I wasn't putting the zip in because I could just sort of pin it to me. And yeah, so it was super quick just to, and obviously I didn't do full length legs either, I just literally did cut them off at shorts length. So it was really quick just to cobble that together and see generally how the fit was. But yeah, I am super happy with it. Now it's got like short sleeves. I've done the short sleeve version. It's got an exposed zip in the center, which is my concealed zip. No, it's not. It's my continuous zip. That's what I meant. And I've got pockets on the front. The pockets have been changed as to what's on the pattern, because the original pocket pattern piece is super small and tiny and just looked proportionally wrong. So I ended up taking them off. I'd sort of slept on it overnight and thought, I don't like it, I'm going to take those off and redo them. So I've created my own pocket for these at the size that I wanted. It has pockets in the front hip as well, which again I think are too small, but I don't have enough fabric left over now to recut these, and it would mean I'd have to undo all the side seam and the waist as well, because they are stitched into the waist seam and the side seam and the sort of front angled patch pockets. And then they are 3/4 length, fairly sort of wide leg. As I say, they are princess seam, so you can just probably see the princess seam is, I don't know where it is, it's there, look, that's the bottom of it, which disappears under the pocket, then comes out of the top here. And if I turn it round at the back, you've got princess seam there, both sides. So collar, there's no collar stand, it's just a simple collar, and it is bias bound around the neckline. I have used this Specky Seamstress bias binding that I've had in my stash ages, which I think goes quite well, and then a little Rosy Cheeks animal label, because cow print is an animal print, which makes it a neutral, doesn't it? Yeah, I love them. This fabric is beautiful and it's really washed nicely. So I pre-washed it, and all I did was, Fabric Godmother, when you get one of their denims, they give you like a little piece of paper with how to wash your denim before you use it. And what they said was, put a tennis ball in the wash with a colour catcher and some salt as well, just some table salt to set the dye, and then just wash it on a normal wash, which is what I did. That's all I did with it. I didn't pre-soak it, I didn't do anything else with it, and I just washed this fabric on its own with a tennis ball in. It was one of Piper's balls, actually, obviously not that he's used, it was one of the spare ones. And I didn't have a colour catcher, that's the only thing, but I just went for it and hoped for the best, and it's been absolutely fine. There was no sort of blending of the colours, there was no leakage, it was absolutely fine. And then I took it out of the wash as soon as it had finished the cycle, and then I laid it over my dining room table chairs just to dry, and yeah, it was absolutely fine. It was great. So yeah, I'm super happy with this jumpsuit. As I say, I will do a separate vlog. I'm going to hopefully take this with me to the Stitch Festival to wear there, but I really love it. It's just amazing. I'm just sort of thinking about what shoes to wear with it. I mean, I think probably my black chunky boots, but I need to make sure that the hem covers the top of my boots, because they're sort of like mid-calf boots, and I think it'll work, but I need to try it on and see. Yeah, so I've had a really busy week sewing. It's been great. I also did the lane pants at the beginning of the week. I will show you those at some point over the weekend. I got those done and got this done and then got this done. So I have just been super productive this week. But tonight is Valentine's Day. And, you know, me and Martin have been married now 27 years, 28 years in September. And we don't generally celebrate Valentine's Day. You don't really, do you? As you sort of been married for a while or been together for a while, it's just commercialism, isn't it? But he has bought me a card, as I showed you this morning, and he bought me a little present as well. I've not even got him a card because I'm just the most awful wife ever. But anyway, what he has done as well is he's bought a meal for two, Valentine's meal for two from Tesco special. So I think we're having that tonight when he gets in. He'll be cooking, obviously. I sound the most, you know, what's the word? Looked after wife. And I guess I am. I'm very lucky. He is, yeah, he's an amazing guy. But yeah, he will be cooking. And we're going to have that this evening. So I don't know what else I'll be doing, really. I would like, right on cue, Martin rings me and interrupts my filming. But anyway, yes, we're going to be having that tonight. And what was I saying? Cutting things out. Yes, I've got nothing else cut out at the minute. So I did talk about in my plans vlog that there was a couple of things I wanted to make for Layla, and I stupidly forgot to measure her when she was here last weekend. So that's going to have to be put on the back burner until I next see her, which is a couple of weeks. So yeah, that's not going to happen. But I've still got the Theas to do, and obviously the Vogue top as well. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to get around to doing much tonight, because honestly today has just absolutely destroyed me, to be honest. It really has. This job is just all consuming at times. Anyway, right, I'm going to get off, and yeah, Martin's on his way home from work, which is great, so I'll catch up with you later. Morning. Oh, the glamour. It's Sunday. I've totally missed out Saturday because it was a day of filming and editing, and that's really not very interesting for you to be sort of involved in, really. But anyway, yeah, didn't get any sewing done yesterday, and yeah, but it was a productive day nonetheless. So today's Sunday. Martin's gone to work. He's on a really long day today, so he won't be home till 9 o'clock tonight. Isaac is at work at 4, so I have to take him there, but the rest of the day is for me. And yeah, I'm going to go for a run. Now, I haven't run for a few weeks because January I think I ran about twice. I've been to the gym a few times, but I have started going to the gym at work because lots of you know I work in a prison. And I joined the gym in my local town beginning of December, and I went throughout December, and I noticed that I was starting with what I always do, that, you know, going to the gym, my nearest gym is like 6 miles away, so it's drive to get there, do my workout, come home, have a shower, and you know, before I know it, 4 or 5 hours out of my day is gone. And yeah, it's just a nightmare. So I was finding I was not making excuses not to go, but this is the reason why I've always run, because I can literally get changed, go out the door, do my run, and end it at my door. And I'm not fortunate to live in an area where the gym is just literally down the road. So it's not, you know, I'm very rural, so that's how it is. So I work in a prison, as you know, and at lunch times, most days, the prison staff can use the gyms, and the gym's actually really good. It's a little bit different to normal gyms because obviously there's higher security, so things like the pins in the machine and stuff are all in a locked cabinet, which means you have to get them out and then put them back after you've used the machines and things like that. But yeah, the gyms themselves are actually really good, and so I'd always known about this, but I'd never had the courage to go and use the gym myself at lunchtime. But I started doing it beginning of January, and I thought, if I can do this, then, you know, I can use the gym for free and not need to pay for a gym. So I started doing that, loved it, and then got ill. So as you know, most of January I spent ill in one form or another. So couldn't run, couldn't go to the gym, etc. So I've got out of it again. And I've been well now for the last week and a half, and I'm ready to start exercising again. But the weather is awful. And this is the problem when I get out of the routine of exercising, that then I really have to struggle to get the motivation to do it. And usually that's what motivates me when I'm like that, and I've not done it for a while, is if the weather is just a little bit nice. So, you know, the sun is shining, or it's really dry or whatever, and not super cold. But I don't want to just spend this whole vlog talking about the weather, but the weather has been awful for ever, it seems. The last week, I mean, where we are in Yorkshire, the last 10 days has just been cold, rainy, cloudy. I haven't seen the sunshine for at least 2 weeks, and it just doesn't want to motivate me to get out the door. And yesterday, I was going to go for a run yesterday morning, but it was raining and horrible and cold. I mean, this morning it is not raining, but it's damp, dreary, not drizzly, but you know, when the sky is sort of a bit hazy because it's just damp and horrible. The ground is all wet, it's cold, and I'm sat here thinking, I need to go and run, but I don't want to do it. Oh. So I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go and put my running kit on, put my headphones in, go out with no sort of intention. I mean, I was supposed to be doing a 10-mile race today. This race was originally in January, and I was ill anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to do it, but it actually got cancelled a couple of days before because I think where the race is had lots of snow, etc. But yeah, January and the first half of February have been written off because of illness and the fact that I haven't been able to train. So there is no way I can do this race because this race got postponed, and it's been postponed today. So that's obviously not happening. But yeah, I was supposed to be up to the point of doing this 10-mile race today, and it's just not happened. And I'm seeing people like the lovely Catherine, who is Soverton Makery. She's training for the London Marathon. She's been doing these amazing weekly runs, etc. And I'm so jealous because I've been thinking I've been too ill to do it, and I am going to have to like not start back afresh because I've got that base there. But you know, I can go out and run 3 miles today. That will be fine, but it won't be easy. But as long as I go at a gentle pace, I'll be fine. And I think that's the thing. I need to go out and think I'm not putting any demands on myself, as in I have to run at a certain pace, or I have to do this, I have to do that, whatever. I'm just going to go out and just run to how my body feels. And if I need to take walk breaks, I'll take walk breaks. I originally was going to do it with Piper because I was running with Piper again just after Christmas. But he will really pull me hard because he gets so excited, and I will end up where my hip really hurts, etc. And it will take me about a week to recover. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go on my own and just go really gentle, put some nice music on, and just go out and get those endorphins because it will make me feel better. And once I've done it once, that will motivate me then to start getting out regularly again. Because I haven't been to running club for months either. That's the other thing, because I was suffering with such bad anxiety months ago, and lots of reasons for that, but that's a lot better, and from that aspect things are great now. So I need to get back to club, but at the minute I don't feel fit enough to go to club. So yeah, I need to just get myself back into it. So I'm going to go for a little run because I need to get a shower, and I have this thing where in my head I say to myself, you have to earn your shower. So what I mean by that is I need to go out and do some exercise so that it justifies me getting a shower, because obviously if I get a shower and do my hair, I'm then not going to exercise because I'm going to undo it all and have to do it again. Does that make sense? So in my head, that's what I say, you have to earn your shower. So you have to do some exercise to earn the reward of having a shower and, you know, getting the hair done and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go put my running kit on. Told you, so it's going to happen. And then when I get back, what we're going to do today is we are going to start working on the Aspen dress, but I'm not making it as the pattern is. I am doing the hacked version of this ready to wear dress. As Piper just telling me he wants to go out, he rings a bell. So yeah, I'm going to start on that in the corduroy that I picked up from Fabworks last weekend. That's been pre-washed, and I want to get this done before the weather turns, because you can guarantee if I make this dress in cord now we're going to have a heat wave. The weather will change, we'll have sunshine, it'll be beautiful, and I won't be able to wear it because it will be too warm. So I'm going to get it made, and that will transition us nicely into spring. I'll see you in a bit. I've been for my run, and it went really well actually. I did 5k, didn't need a walk break, but I was slow. But I've done it, which is great. So I've had my shower. I came back and have spent the rest of the morning blitzing downstairs because it really needed it. So the house is all clean. Well, downstairs it is, upstairs isn't yet, but downstairs is clean, tidy, smells amazing. So I've now had some lunch and come into my sewing room. But before we go any further, I am always asked every time I wear this lipstick, I get quite a number of comments of people saying, that lipstick is a gorgeous colour. Which one is it? What are you wearing? So this is it. So this is a Marks & Spencer's Autograph Lip Shine lipstick in Plum Shine. That's the colour. I will leave a link to it down below because you can get it still. I got this in a M&S beauty calendar, not last year, the year before. And it looks like that. It's beautiful, really nice colour. It's 30 quid from the Marks & Spencer's website, but I think they sell them on eBay. You can get them a bit cheaper on eBay if you wanted to get yourself one. But yes, I didn't realise they were that expensive, to be honest, but it is really lovely and it's lasted me a long time. I've got loads left of it. So for a lipstick that lasts you well over a year, that's quite a good deal really, isn't it? So yes, that's what I'm wearing, and yes, it is a really nice colour. So this afternoon, you can probably see behind me, this is the Aspen A0 copy that I got in my dream wardrobe. Now, I am a little bit perplexed because I assumed that the QR codes that come with the A0 printout would lead me to the PDF so that if at some point I want to reprint it, I can do, but I can't see it. Maybe I've just not found it yet, but I can't imagine that you would only get a printout of it and not the actual PDF. I'll need to check, but I am going to trace this off. I'm not going to cut it out. I have decided that I'm going to go with the size 12 because remember, this is the pattern that I am wanting to make, and I'm going to hack this into this. I think what I'm going to need to do, just speaking to 2 or 3 people that have made the Aspen already, the waist is supposed to be loose, so it's not supposed to be fitted around your waist, and there is a lot of gathering into the top tier. So I think what I am going to do is I am just going to trace off the bodice. I'm not going to bother with the skirt at all, and I am going to create my own skirt because it's literally just going to be 2 rectangles. So I'm going to do my hip plus my hip size, my full hip size, plus another half size, I think, for gathering for the top tier, and then probably twice that for the bottom tier. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. It depends how much fabric I've got, to be fair, because I did get 3.5 meters. But I'm going to trace off the bodice first, and I will probably narrow the waist because, as I say, I'm going to make the size 12. That works with my body measurements. The size 12 cup size B, which is a high bust of 35, full bust of 37, I think, which is about right for me. And the waist on that, I think, is 29 inches. But when I look at the finished measurement for that, it's 38. So there's like 9 inches of ease. Is that right? Yeah. Can I count? And that's a lot of ease. But I think I'm going to take some of that out because I don't think I want it that loose around my waist. I need some definition at my waist, or it's just going to look... it's not going to look right on me. So yeah, I'm going to take some of that out. But anyway, we will start off by tracing it and seeing how we get on. What I am going to do is I'm going to film it completely separately. So it's going to be a separate standalone vlog on how to hack this to make your own version of my dress. But yeah, so there'll be bits in this, but then bits in a separate vlog for if anybody's interested. We'll see how we get on. Right, I have got the dress cut out. So this is my Aspen hack, and I think this is going to work really, really well. I have had to alter the bodice a little bit. I've raised the armhole and just dropped the bodice length a little bit. And I'm just starting to do some sewing now. My daughter's just rung me, which was lovely. So I've had a little chat with her and Layla because I've not spoke to her for a couple of days. She's been on nights. And I'm just working on the pockets at the minute. So one tip that I have for you if you are doing 2 patch pockets, and you know it's always really difficult getting them both not just in the same position so that they look okay, but also getting them exactly the same size when you turn the sides in, etc. So one tip I've got for you, which I learnt from a pattern that I made before Christmas that I can't even remember which one it was now, was when you have turned over the top bit and stitched it, so that's the pocket opening, and then what you're supposed to do is press under all the edges. So the tip that I learned was if you put them right sides together, then using your sewing machine, you stitch length on the longest setting as if you're basting. If you stitch at the seam allowance all the way around, right sides together, turn it out the right way so your 2 pockets are stitched together with the seam allowances in like that, then give it a really good press, unpick the basting stitches, and then you've got a template of where you've pressed it, and both will be absolutely the same size. Genius, isn't it? So yeah, I've just unpicked those now, so I'm going to attach them in position on the front bodice. I am using the same I keep saying concealed zip, it's not, continuous zip tape that I used on my jumpsuit, which is just hung up there. And I think that's going to work really well with this fabric actually. So yeah, I'm going to use that rather than a metal zip because I think it will be easier. So I have just put one of the zipper thingies on that way, isn't it? So I mean, you can see just above it the zipper bit is not, the teeth are not in the right place, but it is below it, which is what matters because that's going to be in position on the dress. So anyway, I'm going to do a little bit more on this now, and then I have to take Isaac to work for 4. We've not got much done today at all, to be honest, because it is nearly 3:30 now. But then when I get back, Isaac's at work till 11:30. Oh, blimey, I won't be up till then. Martin can go pick him up, and then Martin will get home about 9:15 tonight. So I've got a good few hours where it's just me and Piper and Pluto, and I can crack on with getting this dress done. I've got everything cut out, as I said, but I haven't, because obviously normally this dress has sleeves on and I'm going to have open armholes, and I've not thought about how I'm going to finish those yet, because I should probably bind them with binding, but I'm not going to make binding out of cord because that will add an awful lot of bulk around that. So I think I will probably just use some satin bias binding from my stash. I think I've got some, I haven't got this colour, but I've got a khaki, which I think will work all right. I'm going to have a look anyway. We'll just sort that out when we get to it. So anyway, I'm going to do a bit more and then I'll show you how it's looking in a little while. So we're done. I absolutely love it. I've made a real concerted effort to get these pockets level, and I think they're just about there. I think they might just be slightly out, but it's really, really, really difficult, I think, especially on a solid coloured fabric, to try and get them exactly symmetrical is really hard, but I think I've managed it. I really love it. So if I just bring you down a little bit. So the skirt has turned out really well. I mean, I'm wearing it with my leggings and my socks. I mean, it's such of a look, isn't it? Love the length of it. I think these are going to be great with tights and boots. The top tier ends at my widest part, which is where I expected it to. I've still got plenty of room in the waist, and it is fitted through the bust and the shoulders. That's the design. The armhole is higher. I actually think I probably could have left it where it was, to be honest, because it does feel quite high into my armpit, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I'm not sure whether I should have just altered the shoulders slightly as well. I'm not sure whether it should have just come in just a little bit, maybe, but hey, it's okay. It's fine. Love how the zip's gone in. You know, I've not got a lot of experience with these continuous zips, and I think that looks really nice against the cord. The bias binding, I didn't end up using like a khaki satin bias binding, which I think works fine. I have hand stitched it to the armhole, and the reason for that is because I find that if you try and do them on the sewing machine, you end up getting loads of puckering around an armhole. So I have just hand stitched that in place, and complete with Val Morana. Yeah, I really like it. I am really happy with it, and it's almost like my inspo pick, which is just exactly what I wanted. So yeah, really happy with it. I have done a separate vlog on how to hack this pattern. I did find the instructions really straightforward for, you know, constructing the bodice part. It was really well drafted, how the collar and collar stand, because the collar stand is a completely different shape to what you would expect it to be. It's not like any other collar stand I've ever come across before, so that was different. But the instructions were really clear, and yeah, it came together really well. So I really like it, and I think I will definitely make another, but probably the standard pattern, although I do love this two-tiered skirt. I think it's really nice. I think the proportions of it are great, and the volume in it is just perfect as well. So I do really like it. I quite fancy a black denim one with a two-tiered skirting like this. And I've got some black denim that I got from Rainbow Fabrics, so I might have a go at that and just do the short sleeved one with a zip in. Yeah, there's an idea. But anyway, I am going to leave it there for tonight, guys. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me this weekend, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.